It was the worst industrial disaster in India's history. 30 years ago, on the night of December 2nd, 1984, plumes of poisonous gas leaked from an American-run chemical pesticides factory in the town of Bhopal in central India. Most obviously to blame was Union Carbide Corporation, the American company that owned and ran the plant.
Well, joining us live from Paris now is Jude Finisterra. He's a spokesman for Dow Chemicals, which took over Union Carbide. Good morning to you. A day of commemoration in Bhopal. Do you now accept responsibility for what happened?
Steve, yes. Today is a great day for all of us at Dow, and I think for millions of people around the world as well. It's 20 years since the disaster, and today I'm very, very happy to announce that for the first time Dow is accepting full responsibility for the Bhopal catastrophe. We have a $12 billion plan to finally, at long last, fully compensate the victims, including the 120,000 who may need medical care for their entire lives. The first time in history that a publicly owned company of anything near the size of Dow has performed an action which is significantly against its bottom line simply because it's the right thing to do.
The top bank financing climate violence around the world. It's the old Standard Oil Bank. They never stopped. 23 different banks got together to finance the Standing Rock pipeline. Banks are financing all of this. Americans don't remember that.
Define surveillance capitalism.
Surveillance capitalism claims private human experience for the market dynamic as a free source of raw material that is translated into behavioral data. These data are then combined with advanced computational abilities to create predictions of what we will do, predictions of our behavior, predictions of what we will do now, soon, and later. And these predictions are then sold to business customers in a new kind of marketplace that trades exclusively in human futures.
Chicago faces an epidemic of gun violence. This year alone, more than 2,100 people have been shot, more than 400 killed. The 4th of July weekend was especially violent. Around 100 people were shot in just over 4 days.
The problem we heard and saw over and over again was guns.
Estos que ven aquí son gatillos que pertenecieron a pistolas, ametralladoras y rifles que fueron fundidos y convertidos en esto. 1,527 armas fueron fundidas y convertidas en 1,527 palas, con las cuales estamos sembrando 1,527 árboles.
My name is Rick Lowe. I'm an artist in Houston, Texas, and I do art projects around the country, but I'm most known for a project I started in Houston called Project Row Houses. My work basically falls into the category of what I like to call social sculpture. I first began to explore art in a social context after basically being challenged by a high school student who looked at my earlier political work, and he basically said it wasn't what people needed. People needed solutions. And he said, if you're an artist and you're creative, why can't you create a solution? So that was the turning point that got me to start thinking about how to produce work that was not only symbolic and poetic, but also had a practical application to it. From the very start, you know, to take these little 22 shotgun houses that people felt need to be torn down, I mean, it took a certain kind of imagination and a certain way of seeing and hearing the neighborhood to be able to conceive of it that way.
Treehouse is een project wat eigenlijk zich focust op de buitenruimte als een plek waar verschillende verbindingen en mensen kunnen samenkomen. En Treehouse signaleert eigenlijk dat op dit moment in onze tijd, en met name hier in de Afrikanenwijk, steeds minder mensen zich betrokken voelen bij die openbare ruimte, bij dat publiek domein. En Treehouse probeert daarvoor projecten op te zetten om mensen uit te dagen om zich veel actiever te gaan verhouden met die buitenruimte.
Get into a conversation. It's not going to be done on computers. The revolution will not be pixelated.